Well, greetings and peace be with all watching this later online. Am I on? I'm on. Okay, I'm on. I'm Reverend Mitzi. Welcome to Unity of Tempe. So today we begin a new series, Blessed. Do you like the little image? Because that's going to be our image for this series. What does it mean to be blessed? And what do our blessings look like? And how do we align with them? Well, that's what this series is all about. So over the coming weeks, we'll embark on a metaphysical journey through the Beatitudes. Who is familiar with the Beatitudes? Few people, great. So the Beatitudes are 8 succinct blessings from the core of the Sermon on the Mount as depicted in Matthew 5, verses 1 through 12. And we'll explore these proverb-like proclamations of each beatitude and uncover their hidden meanings and discover, most importantly, how to apply them in our own lives. Now, from a unity perspective, the Beatitudes are interpreted as a set of spiritual principles that offer insights into the nature of divine blessings. Who would like some more divine blessings in their life? Yes. They are viewed not as conditions for God for Spirit's favor, but as affirmations of the spiritual potential within each of us. So the Beatitudes, they actually challenge conventional religious interpretations that mistakenly view life's hardships as divine retribution. Have you ever heard that? That not in unity, but have you ever heard, oh my goodness, you did something wrong and so you're being punished, right? We've heard that from so some of us are nodding. But instead, they are recognized as catalysts for personal growth and transformation, and to how to shift our consciousness and lead a more fulfilling and spiritually rich life. And they're considered to be blessings that are already present within us, just waiting to be expressed, kind of like our 12 powers in a way. And these teachings are not distant promises, but present realities within us, awaiting our realization and our expression, which was perfect because today's daily word was about expression, that we are expressions of God, the living expression of God. And so today, Pentecost is a perfect day to begin deepening into our blessings. And Unity's perspective encourages us to recognize and claim our true spiritual power, doesn't it? In everything that we do, through our 12 powers, through everything. Transforming our lives and the world surround us through the creative power of our thoughts, our actions, our words. And it's a call to live in alignment with the kingdom of heaven, not far off kingdom of heaven, but that which is already within and around us. So as we examine these Beatitudes over the next few weeks, I'll be drawing upon the research of great Unity and New Thought teachers. So these Beatitudes, what exactly are they? Well, they're kind of a collection of Jesus's most famous teachings, in a way, of principles, if you will. And they distill the essence of what he spoke about. And they serve some way as a spiritual compass. Does anyone ever use Google Maps on their phone when they're walking? Do you ever get confused about, it says go this way, and then you're like, yeah, but which is this way? It says go east or north or west, and you're like, wait. And then it says, this is how I do it. And then it says 8 minutes more, and you're like, what? Okay, it must be this way then. That's the right way. So sometimes you're turning around. Sometimes we all feel like we could use a little bit of a spiritual compass. And so these Beatitudes are kind of like the eightfold path, if you will. Where does the eightfold path come from? comes from Buddhism, right? It's very different, but it sort of gives us this outline and a succinct teachings, a roadmap, if you will, to a life of spiritual fulfillment and inner peace. So Jesus emphasized that the key to a harmonious life lies within what? Our thoughts, right? Our thoughts and our inner self. And if we cultivate a mindset and spirit that is aligned with divine values, our external circumstances will naturally fall into place. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever been going one way and your mind gets all kind of cluttered with things and your thinking gets cluttered, and then you align your thoughts with what you desire and things begin to fall more beautifully into place? And we do that when we focus on our inner spiritual condition rather than external actions. It's really easy sometimes in the world to look outward and say, that is a bunch of rubbish going on there. Anyone? That is just a bunch of rubbish, and that's a bunch of, I don't know what that is going on. And then we have to look within and regain our inner direction. So Jesus' teachings invite us to a transformation that transcends mere adherence to ritualistic rules and observances. That's what we love about unity, because it's not just about ritualistic rules and observances. It's about going within. And this transformation journey is echoed in the words of Paul. Paul is not one of my favorites, but he occasionally has some wise words of wisdom. And there's one from Romans. Do you know what it could be? It so aligns with our unity teachings. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed, say it with me, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is what unity is all about. Transforming ourselves by the renewing of our mind. And so this urges us to break free from worldly conventions and undergo a profound renewal of our minds. And it's a call to embrace a spiritual metamorphosis. I love that word, don't you? Even in the word metamorphosis, you can feel something is changing. Something is happening. A metamorphosis is happening. Allowing our thoughts and perspectives to align with higher divine truths. So Jesus' approach was not to dictate actions, but to model an enlightened way of being and thinking. And this aligns with New Thought minister Emmett Fox's perspective that the Bible serves as a guide to personal growth, a metaphysical manual for the soul's evolution, a spiritual blueprint that encourages us to embody the virtues and consciousness that Jesus exemplified. Ooh, the consciousness that Jesus exemplified. So we're going to dive into the Beatitudes. So, first of all, this word beatitude, what actually does it mean? Well, that shouldn't be there. Well, it actually means... it comes from the word beatitude, signifying a state of blessedness and joy. So beatitude is blessedness and joy. Anyone desire more blessedness and joy? Yes. Each beatitude starts with the word what? Blessed. Blessed are. Blessed, and consists of two parts: the condition and the result. And it's a promise of the good that is ours as we understand and live by these attitudes of being. So Charles and Myrtle Filmer, they were the co-founders of Unity, emphasized that Jesus' teachings emanated from a higher perspective. I forgot to turn my phone on silent. So that was like the Spirit saying, yes, they did. Absolutely punctuating that. They emanated from a higher perspective, and this is really amazingly illustrated in the Sermon on the Mount, which is where the Beatitudes come from. Any idea why? Because literally, where did he give the message from? Up above. higher above. He literally climbed up on a mountain or a hilltop to give this message. So literally, he is giving a higher perspective, a symbolic rise to elevated spiritual understanding. And this is his most extensive message that he gives in one period of time. And while there's debate over whether he delivered it at one sitting, like, hello, I'm going to give you all of the Beatitudes in one sitting, or whether he did it over a period of time, that doesn't really matter. It illuminates the perspectives that he offered, one that transcends the ordinary and reaches towards the divine. So now, with that background, we're going to delve into the first beatitude. You already had a sneak peek of it. Let's say it together. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Oh, this looks a little confusing. Blessed are the poor? No, wait, we're all about prosperity and having things that we desire in our lives. So this seems to extol poverty at first glance, at a very, very superficial glance. But wait, there's more, as they say on late night television. As we dive beneath the surface of this beatitude, listen for the voice of late Unity minister Eric Butterworth saying, "We spent a long time overcoming the misconception that this beatitude glorifies material poverty. Historically, Christianity has often equated piety with poverty, but that skews the true essence of Jesus' words. The poor in spirit refers not to a lack of wealth, but to humility of the soul." Make more sense now a little bit? So it's not about us physically being poor, it's about humility of the soul. So in this sense, spirit might more accurately be translated as pride. Blessed are the poor in pride. Oh, and heaven, as Jesus uses the term, is not a place in the sky or a reward for an afterlife. It comes from a Greek word that means expanding. Expanding. So really, Jesus is talking about the expanding potential within each of us. So we can sigh a sigh of relief. Whew. It's not a meaning that we have to be poor as in poor in money and take a vow of poorness or poverty. Not poorness, a new word, poorness, poverty. It's about being poor in pride. And when we are poor in pride, we are blessed with expansion. So what does it mean to be poor in pride? Well, because sometimes we sing about, being proud of ourselves. But what does it mean? Well, it means to release know-it-allness. When you hear something, you tune off because you're like, I know that already. Anyone ever? I've already heard that a bazillion times. I know where this is going. Sometimes we might even watch a show and think, I know the ending, and then you're pleasantly surprised when you don't. It means releasing arrogance, to set aside our preconceived ideas, and to be open and available to new information. To be ready to receive God and ready to commune with God. To be poor in pride is to realize that understanding of God, this is really important for those who are a little heady, and I don't think any of us really are here. We're intelligent, but we're not incredibly heady. That means just in our intellect alone. But it means that understanding of God cannot be achieved by intellect alone. We have a physical experience of spirit. We feel that divine presence when we gather together, when we pray for one another, when we support one another. So that's all nice and good, but when do we get our blessings? I mean, after all, we're here and we want to know how am I going to get more blessings? How am I going to be more blessed? Well, we receive an abundance of blessings from this first attitude as we understand it and live in alignment with it. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven when we let go of trying to understand everything from our head alone without involving our heart. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven when we are teachable and open-minded. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven when we renounce preconceived opinions and prejudices and entertain new concepts of life. Now, as I'm reading these, one of them might be like, oh, I do that already. Oh, that one's harder for me. One of them might be harder for you. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven when we're able to say, you know, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven as we release our mental baggage. Put it aside. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven as we realize that knowing God is more important than knowing about God or understanding physical principles. That impersonal experience of the divine that we feel. Like I feel it every Sunday when we sing the congregational song and we affirm that. I feel it when we say the daily word and we say that. I feel it when we pray for one another, when we're kind, when we reach out, when we support one another. We are blessed and receive the kingdom of heaven when we acknowledge God is our source. Let's say together, God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. Okay, so that certainly puts a whole different spin on the first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So when someone reads this to you, you know how to explain it now. It's not about being poor, as in poverty. It's about releasing all of that other stuff so that we can really experience the presence of the divine within us. I want to share a blessing that I had this week. So as many of you know, I was in Philadelphia and I just got back last night. Wonderful time. Ron was working and I walked all over the city. And on Friday, which was Ron's birthday, I decided to go to the Philadelphia Art Museum. Now, I'd already walked about 11 and a half miles the day before. I'd walked all the way up what they call the Champs-Élysées of Philadelphia. It's just beautiful, all these tree-lined avenues. It's just gorgeous, and there's so many art museums and everything all around. Well, happened on that day that they just started their seasonal bus called Flash, and it goes from around this time through until after Thanksgiving. And because it was the first day, I got on the bus and I tried to pay my contactless as I do, and he's like, oh no, it's free today. Number one blessing right there. I mean, blessings all abound from being in Philadelphia. And then I'm on the bus and some people start talking to me and I'm chatting away. And as I get off the bus, there was this one lady who got off at the art museum and we started to chat and she said, oh, are you going to the Mary Cassatt exhibit? I said, I would love to go to that exhibit, but it starts tomorrow and you have to be a member to go today. We got talking a little bit more and she said, well, I'm a member and I'd love to take you in. And guess what? Right then and there, $30 savings. Plus, I couldn't have even gone to the exhibit. I could have seen the rest of the thing. Well, guess what? I made a new friend. She and I spent the entire day together and into the evening wandering around, found out we had so much in common. She had another friend join her. So not one friend, but two new friends from Philadelphia on that day. And then Ron's birthday. So he came along afterwards because on Friday nights, every Friday at the Philadelphia Art Museum, they have beautiful music. They have a violinist or pianist or classical music, and everyone's invited to come, pay as you wish at that time from 5 to 8:45. And they've got these beautiful steps inside and outside because that's on the outside, the rocky scene with the rocky thing, but on the inside they have lovely steps. Everyone sits on the stairs and there was a beautiful violinist playing magnificent music. And so Ron came along and we looked at some more art and my goodness, what a blessing. What a blessing. So I encourage you this week to notice the things that you might take for granted so that maybe next week you can say, I had a blessing this week. Oh, speaking of which, does anyone need a pair of flip-flops? We have a brand new beautiful pair of flip-flops here. that Catherine received, still got the tag on them, in an auction, and she was blessed by winning a prize, a financial prize at the auction she did. It was a wonderful blessing. And so if no one needs if you need these, take them home with you. If you don't, we're going to give them to Matthew's Crossing. So, but please take them if you're like, I need those. But just look at the blessings that you have in your life. So, to deepen into your blessings this week, I encourage you to do this. Self-reflection. Spend time identifying areas where you may be influencing your decisions and where pride may be influencing your decisions and limiting your spiritual growth. Journal. Consider during this series bringing a journal with you to service and journaling during the week as a tool to document thoughts and insights during this series. And begin with the first beatitude. You might write it down and write down, what did I learn about that first beatitude? Kindness. Perform an act of kindness without seeking recognition. I know we all do that already, but do one. And don't come in and tell us about it. Affirm. Let's say this together. I am open to divine wisdom and guidance, embracing humility as a path to spiritual expansion. Now, if you're keeping a journal, you could write this down. You could take a photo of it, or you could watch later online and write that down and affirm that each day in your daily beginnings of the day. Let's say it again. I am open to divine wisdom and guidance, embracing humility as a path to spiritual expansion. And here's a mindfulness practice. And we can do this right now very quickly, but I wrote it down in case you wanted to take a picture of it and practice it at home during your week of deepening into the first beatitude. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. And just take a few deep breaths. And with each exhale, imagine letting go of pride and ego. Any pride and ego, just see it going. You might not even know what it's all about, but you just see it freeing from you and floating away. And as you do that, you know that it's creating space for spiritual growth. And now visualize your spirit expanding as you connect with the vastness of the kingdom of heaven within you. Oh, beloveds, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It resides within you. All the blessings are within you. And now take a moment to give gratitude for any insights received. Take a deep breath. And allow yourself to come back. And I just did that quickly, just to give you an idea. You can spend a lot longer doing this. You could take a picture of this or just do it for yourself this week. Let's say together, I am blessed. Do you feel blessed? One more time. I am blessed. One more time. I am blessed. Yes. And as we close out with this part of the message, I have one short story. Yesterday, coming back from the airport, I got picked up by Rotimi, who is originally from Nigeria. He's been here 2 years, and I always love to chat with Uber drivers. I love to chat with anybody and get to know them, because everywhere you are people. And we get to share our light by listening and learning about other people. I love learning about people from other cultures. And he said, I personally, I'm going to be honest, I have had some challenges with the US recently, as many of us have, looking at things, the way things are. And he had such a grateful heart. He just exuded gratitude. And he said how he loves being here because it's so different from the way that he grew up, and he feels so blessed. And I was like, perfect message for today, just to remind me that wherever I am, I can tune into that as well. And so let's say again, I am blessed. Yes. And so to anchor this song, there's a beautiful song by Karen Drucker. You're probably going to guess in advance, of those who know Karen Drucker well, what song it is. And I think we'll be using this quite a bit during our series.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Let's say again together. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. And so it is. Amen. And I really hope, beloveds, that you will continue to come to this series, and that with each beatitude you will find yourself deepening into your blessings and your awareness of your blessings. Let us say together, I am a beloved child of God, here to be an ambassador of good. Yes, indeed. And it is time for our financial blessings right now to share them. That is what keeps our unity of Tempe going. When we have people here, when we're low people here, but we're not, because we're all one in the Spirit. And so let us say together, I am a joyful sharer of my good. I remember that as I give, I receive, and that God is my source. Yes, indeed. And for those who would prefer to give online, here is our information. And we see these being multiplied in abundance. I see this being multiplied in abundance for unity and for myself and for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Carla. And we bless all of our givings, and we bless all of our prayers in the prayer box that have ever been in the prayer box. We bless them. We see them multiplied for ourselves, multiplied for our community, and we accept prayers and love and healing for any member of our spiritual family that is in desiring prayers and healing and love. And so it is. Thank you, Carla. And if you're ever feeling not loved or you're ever feeling not supported, let somebody know. Say, hey, I'm having a hard time this week. Let us know so that we can support you and support each other. Be with us more next week for more spiritual inspiration and to discover the second beatitude and go deeper with it. Who's ready for the next beatitude? Who's going to bring a journal with them? Yes. Bring a journal with you. Just bring, if you don't want to take it home, I don't know why you wouldn't, but bring a journal with you, and be open to supporting living in your best life. Let us say together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well, and we are grateful. Yes, indeed. Have a blessed week, those of you watching online.